I've always been the strong one, the dependable one, the one people call when their car breaks down, when their marriage falls apart, when they need someone to sit with them in a hospital waiting room at 2 a.m. I was raised that way. My mom used to say, "You've got old bones in you," like it was a compliment, and I wore it proudly. Strength became my personality, my identity, my shield. I learned early that if I didn't fall apart, other people wouldn't have to. Some I didn't. When my parents divorced, I was the calm kid. When my best friend spiraled in college, I was the one who stayed sober to walk her home. When my dad got sick, I handled the paperwork, the phone calls, the logistics. Everyone told me how amazing I was, how composed, how resilient. No one ever asked how I was actually doing. And I didn't offer, because strong women don't need help. That's the rule, right? I built a life around that idea. I worked hard, I paid my bills, I showed up, I smiled in meetings, I listened more than I spoke. I became the woman people trusted but never worried about. And honestly, for a long time, I believed the story too, until the day my body decided it was done cooperating with the lie. It happened on a Tuesday. Nothing dramatic, no big tragedy, just a regular workday. I was standing in my kitchen, coffee in hand, when my heart started racing for no reason. I thought I was having a heart attack. My hands went numb, my chest tightened, my vision blurred. I sank to the floor, convinced this was it, that this was how strong women go out, quietly, efficiently, without bothering anyone. Turns out it was a panic attack, my first one, at 32. The doctor asked me a question I wasn't prepared for. "What's been stressing you lately?" I laughed, actually laughed, because where do you even start? I wanted to say, nothing. I wanted to say, I'm fine. Instead, I cried so hard I couldn't breathe. That's when I realized something terrifying. I didn't know how to not be strong. I went home that day feeling embarrassed, ashamed, like I'd failed some invisible test. Panic attacks felt like a personal flaw, not a warning sign. I told almost no one. I kept functioning. That's my specialty. I showed up to work, I answered texts, I kept being the reliable one. But now there was fear underneath everything. Fear of my own body, fear of cracking in public, fear of being exposed as someone who couldn't handle it all after all. What no one tells you is that strength, untreated, turns into isolation. People assume you're okay, so they stop checking. You assume you're supposed to be okay, so you stop asking. It becomes a loop. I started canceling plans, making excuses, telling myself I just needed rest. But it wasn't rest I needed. It was permission. Permission to not be the anchor for everyone else. The breaking point didn't come during a crisis. It came during something small. A coworker asked if I could just take this one extra thing because I was so good at handling stuff. And I said yes, automatically. Then I went to the bathroom, locked myself in a stall, and slid down the wall. I remember thinking, if I don't stop pretending right now, something inside me is going to disappear. That scared me more than the panic attacks ever did. So I did something radical. I told the truth. Not all at once, not dramatically, just honestly. When someone asked how I was, I stopped saying fine out of habit. I said, actually, I've been struggling a bit. The first time felt like stepping off a cliff. The world didn't end. Some people got awkward. Some didn't know what to say. But something surprising happened too. People started opening up back. Turns out I wasn't the only one drowning quietly. I started saying no, real no's, the kind that don't come with apologies or explanations. And let me tell you, some people did not like that. A few relationships shifted. A couple faded. I felt guilty. I felt selfish, but I also felt lighter. I started therapy. I learned that my strength was actually a survival skill I never got to put down. That being capable doesn't mean being invincible. That rest is not a reward you earn after burnout. It's a requirement. I learned that crying doesn't erase resilience. That asking for help doesn't cancel out independence. That softness and strength are not opposites. They're partners. The hardest part wasn't admitting I needed help. It was accepting that I always had. I think about younger me sometimes. The girl who learned to stay quiet and useful. The woman who thought love was something you earned by being low maintenance and dependable. I wish I could tell her this. You don't have to be impressive to be worthy of care. You don't have to hold everything together alone. And being the strong one doesn't mean you're not allowed to fall apart. It just means you've been carrying too much for too long. I'm still strong, but now my strength looks different. It looks like boundaries. It looks like honesty. It looks like calling someone when my chest tightens instead of pretending it won't. Some days I still default to old habits. I still catch myself minimizing, fixing, absorbing. But now I notice it, and that matters. If you're the strong one too, if you're the person everyone leans on, please hear this. You are allowed to take up space with your pain. You don't owe the world your silence, and you don't lose your strength the moment you ask for help. Sometimes that's exactly where it begins.